The movie you just made me watch and I just finished about 4 minutes ago, so it's still setting in, is Cannibal Holocaust, directed by some guy named like Deodato or something.
Ruggero
I have
Deodato.
Green Inferno up.
Ruggero Deodato.
Here we go.
There it is.
1985's Cannibal
80.
Holocaust.
I
What?
think just 80. 1980.
Yeah, it wasn't released in the U.S. till 85.
We're already getting into some deep trivia.
Semantics. No, it was 80 when it was
What?
released originally.
Ruggero Deodato. Horror. I don't know. Is it horror? Jake Schwartz, welcome back.
Thanks.
Let's
What's
do
your word, Schwartz?
Snuff film. This is a
Snuff?
snuff film, dude.
That's your word? Snuff?
Last time you gave no. I'm saying last time you gave me 2 words, so I'm gonna go with 2 words again. And I'm gonna go, first word is polarizing, and second word is
Should be like a phrase, not 2 different words.
Yeah.
Like completely unnecessary. That's my fucking words. Here's a phrase for you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just go say elaborate.
elaborate. Okay, that's a good word.
Interesting.
That's a good word.
I mean,
this is
it's
the thing.
fucked up. It's
This
terrible. Like, there's a lot of things that I could say about this movie, but if anything else, other than those words, it was a very elaborate movie.
I think this movie makes you kind of think about just the nature of humans in general, and like how far people are willing to go to like
Make a movie.
get what they want, or exactly to make something that they think people are going to like not necessarily have to enjoy, but like need to see in a way. Like, because this movie did not need to be made. The content, the movie within this movie, the people that were supposedly making this fake documentary, like these people were fucked up, man. Like, what's going on with these people?
The people that were killed, right? Like the initial.
So
the found footage part.
The so-called found footage.
Maybe
It
start
was
from
a
the beginning.
confusing movie.
Okay, so the movie starts out with a professor of some sort with a team of people trying to find a group of documentarians who went into this jungle to find a cannibal to document a cannibal tribe and like what they do and what they're all about. And then the movie shifts to seeing the footage that these people supposedly shot, and the people who are trying to, I guess, buy this movie and release it, and the morals of if they should or if they shouldn't. And that's what I think I like about this movie is these people who are watching this footage, the production company or the news company, whoever is that's looking to find it, they know and they say that the things that they're seeing and watching are completely fucked up. But they also know that everybody, well, not everybody, but so many people see this no matter.
Sensational.
You know what I mean? It's something that it's almost something you
kept
can't
coming up.
Yeah, it's something some people can't take their eyes on. It's like watching like execution videos or slaughter videos of animals and farms and shit like that. Some people can't just turn that off. Like I've watched so many execution videos because
why?
Because you're a psychopath.
Fuck.
It's like, were you like a guy that watched like Faces of Death as a kid or growing up or whatever?
Yeah, I was.
Oh man, no, I could never do that shit.
And I mean, admittedly, I've seen when beheadings were like the norm. I watched a few of those.
Yeah, I've watched those too. They're fucked, but I can't turn away, you know. And I don't condone it. I would never be able to do it, but
he still loves doing it.
Yeah, every time you have a butt or every time you try to explain
I'm
yourself,
not
you cut out.
But but I'm just wildly addicted to beheading people is what he was trying to say.
Yeah. If my internet connection is booty, but I don't, like I said, I don't condone it.
I can't.
I don't
help
condone
the
it,
bloodlust.
but I have to watch it. It's like a primitive thing in the back of my fucking mind that's just like, just watch it, man. You know you want to. And I think that's the point of this movie, is like they were trying to make something that most people wouldn't admit to wanting to see, and a lot of them probably wouldn't watch, but the majority of people are going to watch it for the shock and awe value. You know what I mean? Like the director was arrested after this movie because he made the main actors like sign a piece of paper that said they wouldn't appear in like real life for a couple months after this movie was made, so that people would think they're actually dead.
I think it was about
It
a
was
year.
I read.
That's fucking crazy, and that alone is just crazy.
Very elaborate.
And the thing about this movie is that it's unnecessary. Like I'll give it that. It's an unnecessary thing, but there's a lot of movies that are like this out there. I mean, there's that movie Solo, there's the Human Centipede movies, there's the
Creep,
the fucking
Creep 2.
Those were good.
Oh no, you can't put those in this category. Those are PG-13 compared to this.
Well, they're found footage. They were, I think,
they're just not as polarizing.
I unfortunately had that thought of like, this movie's completely unnecessary, and I was thinking like, what did this inspire? I'm like, fuck, Scorsese still would have made Goodfellas. Like,
I
still would have made like
Blair
No
Witch
Country for Old Men.
still would have gotten made if this movie
Probably.
didn't get made. You know, I don't think
so.
this was a pioneering movie. I think it was just ridiculous.
Because it was 20 years before Blair Witch too, so it's like
And
maybe
I know
not. I could see it taking from it, but
of course they're taking from it, but like it's not like this. I mean, is it the first to do it? Is it like the Beatles?
It's one of the first. What I realized from researching is that Italian filmmakers were making some pretty fucked up shit since like the 60s, man. They were making fucked up shit.
Yeah, what did I come across? Something called like Mondo films or something like that, where they're like documentary style. Which I think those are more of the original found footage of just like fucked up shit. It was like tribal stuff. It was like incest. It was like just all like sex stuff, like all sorts of weird shit is in these like Mondo movies that are Italian.
That you're just addicted to.
Schwartz is digital. Oh god. I've never
seen it's something like
Deep Red was kind of fucked up in its own way.
Well, this is the thing. That's the thing. Deep Red and those Giallo movies, they're the same type of movie, just done in a really artistic fashion. Like they're done in like an artsy way that doesn't make you like cringe. Like there's no rape in Deep Red. There's no animal killings. There's no fucking like people being eaten. You know what I'm saying? And like the crazy part is that like the fact that they were allowed to shoot those animals actually being killed is pretty fucking crazy. And I get how like some people are like, well, that tribe was going to eat them anyway, but like, and it's like, okay, that's might be true, but still showing a turtle getting dismembered, that was one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
It was like in real time.
Yeah, it was like the longest
it was disgusting.
Scene.
It was gross. It was absolutely disgusting. I don't think.
They killed a lot of animals in this movie.
The muskrat was the first one to go. I think they like stabbed it and like just killed it right there in its hand. They shot a pig at point blank. Like all that shit was just so like.
So documentary Professor returns to retrieve documentary footage from killed people. Yes. And then did you explain like because the first part of the movie
off the
is
fucking rails.
Well, good.
That's what it is. The first part of the movie is him, and that's where I was confused with the whole I was like, "There's not a whole really. This is just showing him retrieving the documentary footage."
Yeah.
But then it takes a turn where they're like, "Okay, time to watch it," and I was surprised he returned. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect from this movie. I just expected it to be crazy and fucked up, and I did not expect that guy to return. But when he did. That's when I was like, okay, this is different than I thought.
Yeah.
And then why are they just because they want to put it together. The production company put a cut together that they enjoyed, right? And then he was like, well, you got to see the rest of it. And is that what they were doing? Was watching the rest of it?
I couldn't really tell. I think it seemed like they were definitely watching parts of it, and then they're like, because some of it was like, this is what I put together, but then it was just like also just the worst possible shit you could ever see, and it was all there, and they were all so I don't remember that. Like maybe I don't remember that conversation.
I think Jake was slightly traumatized from this movie.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't remember
how
all
much
those animal killings in such like gory fashion.
Yeah, it was that, and then there was like unnecessary rape scenes. It was just like fucking. It was fucked up. Like,
Yeah, this movie was a snuff film.
What I
it
expected,
was. It really was.
What I was expecting was when it looped around and it was showing the first girl being killed and raped and shit in the very end.
Yeah, the impalement scene.
Terrible movie. After the impalement scene. No.
Oh,
the very end.
The main girl. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hoping it would like Tarantino around, and then we'd see her being pulled in the boat, and then like what in the very beginning when the professor comes and sees somebody get ritualistically murdered for adultery. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, that was her. Whoa.
Yeah, that
wasn't.
That would be.
That would have been rad. It would have been like a fun twist to this
Yeah.
insanely horrible movie.
The thing is that the point of this movie is to be horrible. The point of this movie is to put in your face things that I'm just saying, like that's the point of this. The point of this is to show you things that you don't want to see. And this movie is not for everybody. You know
I'm going to be an asshole, and the point of my next words is I'm going to be an asshole. Schwartz, you're overweight and you smell funny. Was that necessary? I accomplished my goal.
No.
Was that necessary?
I'm not saying
that was the shock value right there.
But this is the thing: people like shock value. People like being like grossed out. People like Eli Roth is Eli Roth's favorite movie. Without this movie, Eli Roth there would be no Hostel. There'd be no Rob Zombie movies without this movie. You know what I mean?
That's fucking
That makes
weird.
me think some fucked up shit about Eli Roth. Why would this be his favorite movie?
Dude, this is the thing. You don't think fucked up things. You don't think fucked up things about Quentin Tarantino? Like that dude writes like really fucked up, violent, morose shit, but he just does it in a more cinematic like approach. Like everybody's got these gross like fucked up feelings in them. Some people just really really like to feed off of it. You know what I mean? Like I mean I guess like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What other movies that are?
But I think all of those movies would happen without this movie.
You know, this movie is just the most polarizing one of all these movies. You know what I mean? Like what I like about this movie, the thing I think is cool and is you're not ever quite sure what this movie is. Like you said, it starts out with like it being shot like a regular movie and them going on a mission to find a crew, and then it turns into a studio deciding if showing this footage is good thing or a profitable thing or a thing that is something they can handle. And then it shows these documentarians who are going into a primitive culture who the culture is fucked up. Like they're killing people for adultery. They're slaughtering people, like eating them. And then the documentary crew ends up being the most fucked up part of the movie. Like they not only rape a fucking tribal woman, like a local to this woman, but they burn down a fucking village and shoot it. Like what I think this movie is just saying how like dark human nature is, you know? And I think there's no comedy in this movie.
It bamboozled us. It bamboozled us into like expecting all the violence and hatred and craziness from the tribe, and then we saw it happen from the visitors instead.
That's a good point. I didn't really expect that, but when that happened, I was like, "Oh wow, this is
there was
even worse than I thought it was going to be."
Aspect of the movie that had like a message, and that message was, the message was the last line of the movie. Like, I wonder who the real cannibals are.
Right.
Yes, and yes, exactly. It's the darker side of.
Yeah, it was a commentary on media and fucking all that shit.
That is the. Yeah.
And
for sure.
Sensationalism.
Yeah, media sensationalism.
Oh, I can't wait to get to our favorite scenes.
Well, wait, hold on. Before we get to our favorite scenes,
no. Let's build the tension.
I read that the director decided to make this movie because he saw an actual news clip or news footage of people that went into something like this, and then they actually got like caught, like they might have been killed by the tribe, and that the news company didn't know if they should ever release this footage, and they never did. I don't know if that's true or not, but I read that's why the
it was a documentary, like the documentary crew. They were going and documenting, or were they actually going and doing the shit that these guys are doing?
They were going and documenting, and then supposedly they were killed by a local tribe. And they said that was like the point of this movie. I don't know if that's true or not.
I also heard or read something about like it was a commentary on the way there was like a specific terrorist attack that happened that
Okay.
like the way the news covered it, I guess, was like super like violent and gory and shit. And this was sort of like a response to that of like, if it's real, then like they'll show. I don't know what their message is, but I read something along those lines.
The message is people are fucked. Human nature is fucked. That's the message of this movie.
Yeah, but
I
but
don't-
not everyone.
Yes.
It's people have the potential to be fucked, but like
Sure.
really, like
I think yes, that is the message, and I think that it. But I don't think. Do you think? I don't know. It was
Well, keep
too.
going.
It
Keep
was
going.
too elaborate of a story and of a storyline, and of the fact that he made them, act like they were dead for a year after the fact, to the point where he went to jail and had to pull them out of hiding. That he had to have had a message.
The director, you're saying, or the people making the documentary in the movie?
The director. He had to have. The director of the real movie, like Ruggero Deodato.
The message is look at this and be shocked, or don't ever watch it. I think that's the message. Like, people like gross shit. Like, you ever remember that show or those movies, Faces of Death, where they were just put together? That's what this was. This was like that. That's exactly what this was.
Yeah, that might have been one of you like froze up a little bit. But yeah, I mentioned that. I'm like, did you guys watch Faces of Death when you were younger?
Okay, 100%.
You did? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I never really did. I think it was like I was maybe saw like a
I
clip
never
or two,
watched
but, like,
the
I was
Faces
never, like,
of Death,
yeah.
like the actual thing, but I definitely we grew up with the internet, so
I remember going into like
watch
Easy
all the
Video
videos.
and like renting like movies, and there was like a section in the back that like was like adults only, and in that section
They had Faces of Death like on VHS.
Yeah, like I thought that shit was
and
like
people were like,
illegal.
"Don't go in there." Yes, yeah,
They
yeah,
had it,
on VHS.
weird. I thought that
It's
shit was
crazy.
like illegal in America, and it was like all I don't know.
No,
Like,
America is actually one of the places that
The
showed
rumor.
this shit because
Okay.
America is so
Ah,
desensitized.
true. It was illegal other places, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, this movie was illegal in a lot of places up until like the 2000s. There were a lot of countries that wouldn't even
Right.
let this movie be shown. That's why this movie is so fucking polarizing, and like,
But what
like
do you
I said,
mean
like filmmakers,
polarizing? Like what? Like it's not like anyone loves the movie for the bad stuff.
Apparently, Eli Roth does.
Well, I mean,
Like, why does he love it? I don't know.
in watching, yes, but it's not. Nobody watches this and condones it.
No, but you don't have to condone something that's polarizing. Like polarizing something that like is just it's hard to turn away from and has a big impact on you. You know what I mean? Like people
That's not what polarizing means.
Polarizing is like two sides like disagree.
Yeah,
like
stupid
it's
connection.
either
This is a bad connection.
true. Polarizing, it's either like for me, I think it's straight trash, and I would never watch this and never recommend it, and I don't think it should have been made.
That's one poll. Eli Roth's the other poll.
He would be like, I love this movie. This is the best movie ever. Like, or whatever. Like, are there people that like? How many people are really like, this is great? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, why watch this? Why make this?
Why watch this movie?
Yeah. Why did you make us watch this movie?
So there's people that are horror fans, people that like movies that give you
like
the
horror.
feelings of this movie. There's subgenres of horror. There's ghost stories. There's slashers. There's
Demonic
fucking
shit.
demonic. Like
All of it.
but This
I love
is
all
this
of
is
it.
this
I
is.
God, sorry.
I mean, do you like Hostel? Do you like?
I
do you
love
like the
Hostel.
Hostel movie. I mean, this is in the vein of
Yeah.
Hostel. Like, you know what I mean? Like Hostel's based. Hostel's
I
in the
love
same
Hostel.
category as this.
I love Hostel. I will never watch Cannibal Holocaust again.
I've never seen Hostel.
And I love and I will watch Hostel again. I will watch Hostel many times.
Hostel is
Hostel
gore
2
porn,
is
Jake.
great.
Hostel's gore porn.
I know.
It's just
I've
people
seen
getting
other
tortured.
Yeah.
It's
I
and
That's why I've
the
never
cool part
seen
of-
it. I just
the
don't
cool
need to
part
see
of
it.
Hostel, though, the cool part of Hostel is the same cool part of this is like the social commentary, because there's parts of Hostel where there's people that are paying to do what they do to these people, and it's talking about like
It's a fucked up story.
like there's
but it's a
people
good
like that.
story.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like Hostel 2 like is mostly about that. Like the first one is like pretty much only a little about that, where it shows you the people getting it done to, but the
Yeah.
second one is like there's millionaires bidding on like American girls
This
being
is all
kidnapped.
spoilery, isn't it? This is like this like the twist of the first one, like that
Super
people were
spoiler.
kidnapped and like they're people like
Yeah,
Well,
what you come to
movie-
find out in the end that these people are kidnapping them so people can torture them and pay money for it.
Okay. That's fucked up too.
Yeah.
But I guess that
But
would
it's
probably
awesome.
like be an interesting twist. I'll give it that.
Like you could
yeah.
give Schwartz $4 billion. He's doing that for sure.
No, I'm not
Come
killing
on.
nobody. Man.
Come
I'm not that
on.
sick in the head.
No, you're right. You're
do
right.
do I like what? Like, this is the thing. I think.
Do I like watching people getting tortured?
I think as like movie fan, like as a person who loves movies, if you love movies, like me and you do, Jake, like you should watch this movie at least once. Like you
fuck,
should.
you just
see this
leaving me
movie.
out of that?
Like the only
You
because
hate
like
movies.
you can talk about it. You know what I mean? Like it's something to talk about. It's like there's big time directors that love this movie, like Oliver Stone,
Like
Sergio
me and you
Leone.
like movies,
Yeah, I don't
just
know
me and
why.
you. Like nobody else.
So
likes
they
movies?
they like this movie because of how of the feelings it evokes, of how it as much as you hate this movie and as much as Eli Roth loves this movie, it just evokes feelings, whether they be good or they be bad. It evokes it, and that's what the point of it is.
That's true. I felt
Yeah,
feelings. I like movies that make me feel things, but this wasn't like a good.
This wasn't a good feeling.
It's not only a good feeling. It's just
I like
unnecessary
the
is the
wit.
word that keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Like The Witch and Hereditary. Like I was super uncomfortable watching both those movies, but they were both great. I really enjoyed both of them. And
Yeah, but if The Witch was,
I was uncomfortable watching, but it was not the same.
Yeah, but if The
not
Witch
even
were-
Hostel's not even the same.
Yes, it is. Hostel is the same thing.
Hostel's not the same thing.
Green
In what way
Inferno's
is it
not
not,
the same
though?
thing.
Green Inferno. I'm watching Green Inferno right now. It's not the same thing. It's a real movie.
The difference is that they're not movies that are made to look like documentaries. They're not movies that are made to like look real. They're in the
that
same
is
vein
not
of
the worst part of that. Is not like what we're talking about when we're talking shit on this movie. We're not talking about the documentary look of it.
Yeah.
But I think the difference is that if this movie didn't have the docu-style feel of watching these atrocities go down in that way, it would be a little different.
I don't know,
that's the
because
difference.
there were still some scenes, like for
It
example,
was
like the first scene where they kill that animal. At that point of the movie, that wasn't a documentary
No, that wasn't
part.
yeah,
that was like just the narrative, and
There-
they still had to show that shit. Like
They
I
do
get
it
trying
to
to
get under
make
your
look.
skin.
I get trying to make like the document, and they did, and
But it's
they
not
were
necessary.
successful on that. But I don't want that. I don't want that watching it. Like I don't want to watch that shit.
Sure.
Like and like the rape scenes were very realistic, and
They were.
I know they weren't real, but like they were convincing, and they were long and unnecessary.
They were
But
too
that's-
realistic.
But that's what
Not
I mean.
too
I get that's what they were
realistic 'cause
trying
wanted
for,
it
but
to
it's
be,
like
but
I can't. I don't enjoy things like that. I can't enjoy things like that.
I didn't enjoy this movie per se. Did I want to
love this movie.
Oh no.
I
Go again.
no, I didn't enjoy it, but I do. I was gonna say I did not enjoy this movie as like it wasn't something where I'm like, oh, this is fucking great. Like I love watching this, but I do think as someone who loves movies, you have to watch this movie at least once. Like you have to see
you
what
and
the
Jake
fuss is
love
about.
movies.
Well, yeah, Anthony, you're a casual movie lover. You know what I mean? You're not a movie freak.
I see
After
movies.
after
I've
what?
seen a lot of movies. Seen a lot
Hey,
of
man,
fucking
there's
movies.
A lot of movies now. After doing this podcast for over a year, maybe he's
Can't believe what you
movie
said. I
lover.
don't like
I
movies.
think he's a movie lover now.
I think
You got him.
I've done like 100 episodes of a movie podcast. You saying I don't love movies?
Hey Anthony, you want to go to a movie later?
Yeah, we're going to see *Malignant* later. Brand new
Sick.
James Wan movie. Schwartz, I will mute you if you even
Don't
wink
say
a fucking spoiler.
goddamn word. I don't know anything
Don't
about
say
*Malignant*
it,
yet.
nothing
So
about nothing.
nothing.
About *Malignant*? Oh,
Yeah, we don't know anything. I don't know anything about it, so I don't want to know anything about it. But horror movie, yeah, we're gonna go see a horror movie. This will probably be better than fucking Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Hannibal Holocaust.
maybe.
Here's found footage. Oh, never mind.
You know, I'll say the name of the movie made sense to me once I saw the doc part, like how they were like basically like they thought they were like better, like the filmmakers thought they were like the pure people, and they were like killing these like what they thought were like savage people. So that was like almost like these filmmakers staged a Holocaust for cannibals. So I get it. I get the title. I didn't really know why that was what it was called, but there we go.
Well, the movie was supposed to be called The Green Inferno, and then they made it Cannibal Holocaust because it was more like holy
Well,
shit.
yeah, because
I feel
the
like
movie,
you
the
should
movie
know what you're
in the movie
watching.
was Green Inferno. So like, think
Yes.
maybe that's why they wanted to be redundant. And the Cannibal
Yeah.
Holocaust is just a shocker title.
Exactly. That's
So-
why they changed it.
Yeah.
Well, no, they just called it the Green. They called the forest the Green Inferno. I think the movie they were making was called Road to Hell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but this movie, the original title before it's called Holocaust, was called The Green Inferno.
Oh, I thought the movie was Green Inferno.
No, it was called The Road to Hell. Like Anthony was saying that
Was
that
it
was a
the Green Inferno : The Road to Hell?
Well, the Green Inferno is what they called the place
jungle.
that these people live.
Oh, okay.
That's where that's the J.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah. So what do you think about this tribe, first of all? Like, what is your thoughts on that tribe?
You know what? Riddle me this, Batman. Is it like Eli Roth? Did they go to a tribe and do this with this? So
Eli
that's
Roth.
Those are not actors.
I read that Eli Roth went to a tribe, showed them Cannibal Holocaust, and was like, "We're gonna do this," and they agreed to do it.
I'm familiar with that story, but in Cannibal Holocaust, those are actual Amazonian.
That I don't
tribes?
know. That I don't know.
I was trying to look into that a little bit. I didn't get a good answer.
Yeah, that I don't know.
It's a good question. That's something we should find out.
So what did you think about this tribe though? Like, it just in the movie, like,
you know what? I feel they didn't really get into the tribe as much as they could have in the movie.
Yeah,
they were kind of like more
showed,
about the white people and how they thought they were, like how they thought the tribe was terrible, and then the white people ended up being the terrible ones, but also the tribe was pretty terrible.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They were primitive. They're a primitive tribe, and there was two, right? We saw two of them. We saw them attack, like, because they never met they were hanging out with the other people. They had never met the tree people, and then the other people were attacking the tree people, and then like defended the tree people.
Yeah. Well, it also seemed like the first half of the movie, when the professor was going to try to find them, they didn't seem like that bad. Like they were almost like getting along with them in a weird way, and then he got even molested by a bunch of girls.
Yeah, but that was just so strange.
That was a very weird scene.
Yeah. So strange.
That's my favorite scene.
And like, honestly,
mine too.
Honestly, what's crazy about this is like it's two cultures that I've never met before, like mixing in a way, and the first thing it goes to is like just fucked up violence. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy part. It's like there was ever any like, I guess the only part that was normal and it was still fucked up is like when they went to the ritual meal and they had like a human on the stake and they gave the guy a piece of it and he looks at the other guy, he's like, all right, I'm just gonna eat this person's liver now, and like he decided just to do it. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, who would do that? It's like, what's going on here?
Well,
like,
you're deep in the tribe. You're trying to get what you want. You need the canisters. I feel like he had to do it.
Are you doing it? Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm in his position, yeah.
I don't know, man. That's another thing. It brings it down is like,
would you eat a human?
Not only would you eat a human, but like the turtle getting killed, the monkey getting killed, the pig getting killed. That
doesn't bother me.
Up.
Like, if you're gonna eat all those animals, you might as well eat a human.
This is the thing. As
fucked
up.
That's not.
Hold on. As fucked up as seeing those things, like seeing the pig get shot in the head, seeing the monkey get his head shot off, seeing the turtle get dismembered. Though that tribe eats those things as food. They don't have a Walmart, you know what I mean? They don't have a place where the food's prepared. So I don't necessarily think that like that's a terrible thing because they need to eat it. Like, I don't agree with like seeing. I don't want to see.
Are you about to say but humans
dismembered like that? No. But the thing is that like that's like a necessary evil for that tribe. Like that tribe needs to eat, and us as humans, well, at least me and Anthony, we eat steak, we eat fish.
Right. Okay, so hunting for survival is one thing, but like killing animals on camera for entertainment is a very different thing.
So I did read that those animals that were killed were given to that tribe as food, and that's
I understand that.
I would say that too.
And if they would have eaten those, I understand that. But the fact they fucking shot it for entertainment value is not fucking cool.
What about hunting shows?
But they did eat it at the end.
Not cool to me either.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know. That's a stupid question.
But I also don't think them killing these things on camera is any worse than a slaughterhouse that gives steaks to a fucking grocery store. Like, it's the same thing, you know?
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I don't know how
you're preaching to the choir here, Schwartz.
Yeah,
but
you're talking to a vegan.
I don't know how necessarily fucked up that it is. Like, you're
wondering how it should make you feel. You're wondering how, like, why is this more fucked up for me than this or that?
Sure, exactly. And I guess the answer is
no,
it's not. You know what I mean? I guess it's not.
In fact, I believe hunting is better than factory farming. And
sure, I guess I would agree with that.
I can even agree with that.
Yeah.
But I can also agree with Jake in that the purpose of doing what they did was to make the movie.
It was shock value.
And this was, and
Unnecessary shock value.
and then sure they gave it, but
Jake, in this
did
movie,
they kill it the
whole
right
movie
way
is
too?
shock
Jesus,
value.
was that how it
The
was?
whole movie is shock value. Like that's what this movie is. It's a shock value movie. So
I'm not
I
gonna
know.
lie. When
But
they
they had
chopped
to-
the chest out of the turtle and
Oh, that
flipped
was
it over,
disgusting. That
and
was
then
so
well, look, they flip it over and then they start using it as a platter. In my head, I was thinking, this ain't the first. Somebody taught them how to do that. This ain't the first
Yeah.
one.
Dude, those turtles are like if that tribe is eating turtles, that tribe's eating
That
fucking
turtle.
monkeys. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
that's
Like,
what-
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you saw them eating monkeys.
Yeah.
Even then, like I would have I don't know if I could eat a monkey.
Really,
You
I
could
think
eat a human before you could eat a monkey.
Oh no. It would go monkey human for sure. And
Oh, okay.
I'm not just glossing over and saying I could eat a human because I think that's the most worst thing ever. But
monkeys are pretty close to humans.
monkeys are
They are pretty close
to humans, man.
Yeah, they are.
They look like humans.
They are pretty close.
I guess one of my biggest issue with all that shit was like the fact like it wasn't that we just saw it. We also not all of the animals, but we heard them
Yeah.
fucking suffer. Like that
But
muskrat in the
what did
beginning.
we really? It was
yeah.
pretty much
the
everything was
pig.
ADR.
Yeah. So I read
yeah,
that the
I mean,
scene
I
where
don't
they
know
shot
how
the
real
pig.
that was, but that we heard the noises. We heard. The
I read the
screams.
scene where they shot
Not-
the pig.
not
The
cool.
dude who had to talk at that scene was like, couldn't. He was so upset with the fact that he could still hear the pig screaming in the background that he couldn't even like say his lines right, and they couldn't redo it because they
See,
were
that's
only
the
allotted
thing.
one pig to kill.
That
And I was
means
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, doing that affected the movie in
Yeah.
a negative. Like
And-
all
and
of
it-
that's fucking terrible.
and that obviously wasn't the most kosher way to go about killing that pig. Was just shooting it like that.
Right. It was clearly suffering.
Which goes back to like that was unnecessary and just rude and I think I read that the director regrets it.
Yeah, I think I did.
Schwartz,
see something
your
like that.
fucking creepy smile is
I-
frozen on the face.
I tried to take a picture of it when he just unfroze. It was a really weird smile.
It's all
Took
cool.
a
It's being
screenshot.
recorded.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think the director said he regrets doing it.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
but
I read
he's
that too.
Still, that's like,
I read that too.
of course you would. It'd be like
you kn-
murdering someone and being like, well, that wasn't a good idea.
You know what? You know what's a pretty crazy statistic is that in Japan, this is the second highest grossing film of the year behind E.T.
What do they have? Like
In
3 movies come out that year?
In
It came out
1980?
in 1983 in Japan, and I guess it's the second highest grossing film behind E.T.
Spielberg killing the game.
Wow, that's bizarre. Right. The fuck, Japan? Like I can't
Well,
imagine
they
this
killed
movie's made
dolphins
much
in
money in
Wales.
America. True. Here's a thought, and I think Schwartz will disagree with this if he's even with us still.
I mean, he's alive.
does this movie fall under classic or cult movie? Because I feel like some people call it a classic. It's another one of those polarizing things. This is a cult movie to me. This isn't a classic.
This is a grindhouse movie. But this is a popular
So,
one. You know what I mean?
If it's
This is a
I think cult is. I would
yeah,
agree.
same thing. Same thing because of Grindhouse. This is the thing. No matter if you hate this movie or respect this movie or disrespect this movie or whatever it is, you still have to give it its due for that.
You have to
it's a
acknowledge
classic
it.
movie. It's a classic movie because of how polarizing it is, and it's good to talk about. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
think it's classic.
It's definitely a classic in the horror genre. This is considered a classic film, man. Like all the big directors, like you
Yeah,
can just
I
read
think
about it.
unfortunately
They
it is.
talk about it. It's
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just something that people weren't used to seeing. It's a shock.
It's got to be. It's talked about as like a line. I feel like that's.
What does that mean?
There's the bar. Like,
Oh, okay.
don't
okay.
go
Yeah, yeah,
above
yeah.
that shit.
For
like
sure.
this.
Okay.
Like
For
we're
sure.
no cannibal. Like I know we're making a fucked up movie here, but we're no cannibal Holocaust. I feel like that's
Yeah.
how it's talked about.
100%. 100%.
Which is again, it's just an unnecessary. But did someone have to set the bar?
Well, the thing is that European films, especially these Italian films, this directors made other movies that like this, like not necessarily this popular or straight or quote unquote polarizing, but he made a few movies before and after that have the same type of fucked up subject matter. A lot of them dealing with cannibals. Actually, that's the weird thing. And a lot of them being super fucking violent. Like that other movie I was going to make us watch, which was called Torso, is just as violent in its own way. It's just not like a docu-style movie. It's like it's about a serial killer or it's a slasher film about this dude just cutting up women, but he does it in really fucked up ways. But see, to me, like violence and stuff like that, it's entertaining. Like I don't mind watching things like that. Like I don't ever want to watch this movie again. This movie is fucked up. I don't want to watch turtles get disemboweled. I don't. It's easier to watch a person get killed than it is to watch a turtle get disemboweled. I will say that 100%. It's easier for me to watch.
Because for one thing, it's not real in the movies.
Yeah.
When people are getting murdered in the movie, it's not real. This shit, the animals were actually getting murdered, killed.
Yeah.
Animal murder. That's probably why. That's definitely. It's
gotta be definitely.
If
the woman was real and got raped at the end and got disemboweled, if that woman was real, that would be the worst part of the movie.
Oh,
give me that turtle video or give me like a beheading video. I'm gonna go turtle, man.
Really? I think I'd watch a beheading video over that turtle.
If I knew one was real over the other, I'd probably.
No.
Well, beheading videos are real.
Beheading
videos are real.
Oh, then probably
like a real I don't
know.
All I'm saying is I'd rather watch an animal die than a human.
See, I'm not on the same page, man. I don't know what it is.
Maybe because I've been up.
Maybe because I've been so
desensitized.
I don't know what to
say other than that's fucked up.
I've been desensitized. Die? I guess so. Yeah, it's easier for me. Like when I was watching that turtle thing, it was like, oh my god, like this is absolutely gross, and like I had to look away when like seeing the insides like moving and like the legs moving. It's like, and I've watched beheading videos where like the body's still moving too, but it's less disgusting to me for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't.
I think you should like talk to somebody about that.
Maybe it's because humans are like capable of such fucked up things, and like free will is just like such a powerful thing. So I just don't have much sympathy or empathy for humans.
I mean, but I don't know. I guess it still, to me, just goes back to the real or not, because like there was a beheading and I saw the devil, and that was a sweet scene.
The last scene, you mean?
Dope scene.
Yeah.
But also, that guy sucked.
Yeah, that guy sucked.
That guy was a serial killer. Yeah.
That fucking turtle. Innocent.
And so maybe that's why it goes to, like you're saying, Anthony, that guy sucked. You knew that guy was a total person, so you don't really care that he gets beheaded. So maybe that's how I put it with that human guy. It's like maybe he did something in life, or he probably did something in life that was fucking, so I don't care as much. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's normal. I'm not saying that's anything. I'm just saying that's how I think.
Those ISIS warriors were super justified.
Well, all I'm saying is like there, I've seen beheadings of other ISIS type people. You know what I mean? Like rival gang beheadings and shit. So like those people are fucked up too. You know, it's like, it's just, I think empathy for humans is hard to have for me because of how fucked up this world is. I just don't have much empathy.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's easy for me to watch that. And like that, I don't know, man. That turtle thing is most fucked up things I've ever seen.
No. Yeah, no. It was so long. Like it was like fucking. It was like 4 minutes. It was like a 4-minute real time disembowel a turtle scene. I was definitely checked out for a few minutes in that fucking part.
I watched it all.
I probably looked away a few times.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I've eaten turtle, but
have you?
Yeah, turtle.
Where?
Soup.
Oh, okay.
You can have turtle.
I couldn't eat turtle soup. Couldn't do it.
Why?
I just don't. I can't eat a turtle. I just can't.
But you can eat a cow.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I grew up like maybe if my mom gave me turtle soup when I was a kid and I was eating turtle soup when I was a kid, then I'd probably be able to eat turtle soup. But I just don't want to eat turtle soup.
Turtle's good.
That's why I don't know. That's what I don't understand about you omnivores or carnivores. I just don't see how you can disconnect the animals.
I don't. The only animal I disconnect is
a
human. I think that's crossing the line.
But like dog, cats, cows, pigs, they're all the same to me. You know what I'm saying?
We've had this conversation. Sure. I'll eat a fucking cow. I'll eat a pig. I'll eat a dog. I don't care.
I do eat pigs. I do eat cows. Like
I will eat a dog.
We had a sandwich in South America that might have been a cow, might have been a horse, might have been a dog. I'm not sure.
It's like what you said. It's like you grew up eating steak, not turtles, so you don't want to eat turtles now.
Yeah.
If you lived somewhere else that ate dogs, then you would be.
I would eat dogs.
It'd be culturally acceptable, and you do it
exactly.
And I would still be a fucking vegan.
What if you grew up where it was only culturally acceptable to be a vegan?
this is the thing, Jake.
Then he'd probably
You
be a
being
vegan.
a vegan is a good thing. Like, I love animals, so I'm a hypocrite. Like, I don't want to see animals die, but I still eat them.
I
Like,
love animals.
I
That doesn't make me-
definitely.
I don't think that makes me a hypocrite for eating them.
Kinda does.
It might. It kind of does.
I don't.
I
think it does.
respect. I respect you being a vegan, Jake, for the reason that you are. Like, you're not doing it for health reasons. You're not doing it for. You're doing it because you don't want animals to suffer for no reason. I respect that. And I'm a hypocrite because I eat animals. Like, I like animals, and the fact that animals have consciousness and have feelings and all that shit. It's fucked up. Like, we're on the top. The thing is, we're on the top of the food chain. So it's
not
how
to
it
be
is.
taken lightly that animals die for my nutrition.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't
Right.
think about it. I just accept it. I
Yeah.
think it's not unnecessary because I'm utilizing the what's being harvested from the animal. It's not going to waste.
It's part of human culture. And
Do I
every
think
human
it's
culture.
I think it
do I
depends
think
on
like made
situation,
like
though.
all these giant things that are making the world eat, like all these factory farms that are feeding the world? I think it's fucked up, but I also think that half of the world wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for it.
This is the thing. This tribe doesn't have a factory farm. It doesn't have a Walmart. It doesn't have a grocery store.
We also
but it's
weren't
still-
watching the
Oh, I
tribe
understand that.
slaughter anything. We never
No,
once
but it's
watched
still-
the
we
never did.
tribe.
It was-
We
it was
watched
the white
all
people.
these crazy white people come in.
The white people killed the turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the documentary
Oh,
crew.
yeah. But I thought it. No.
They
I
pulled
thought-
it out of the water, and they were all. I think
How
wasn't
did
the
they
girl
know how
even
to
like
do
upset
it?
about it?
She was puking. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
got
pulled it out of the
upset about
water.
it.
They cut its head off.
Yeah.
They chopped the shell off. They used it as a platter. They put the head
I
on
thought
the
the
platter.
dude,
They
the
chopped all
guide
the
who
bones
was
off.
guiding them did that. It was the white guy who did that. I don't remember.
It was
Either
the
way,
guy with the red
either way.
mustache. It was the camera. One of the camera guys.
Yeah, because he went like this with the turtle head. He was like,
Yeah.
It's probably from like Alabama or
It's
something.
fucked
They know
up,
how to
which
do
is
that.
hilarious, but also it's fucked up.
See, I don't
on the
find
bayou.
it funny in any way. Like, there was no humor to this movie in any fucking way.
No.
In anything about it. And that's the difference in, like, I think a lot of horror films too, and even in like really violent movies like Tarantino makes. Like, every movie Tarantino makes is a comedy. No matter which movie he's ever made, it's at heart, it's hilarious.
Pretty much.
And like, even Eli Roth's like movies like Cabin Fever, that was a horror comedy. Hostel has some funny moments in it. This is just straight up fucking snuff. This is a snuff film. Like,
It is.
if you showed me this and I didn't know this movie existed as like a fictitious movie, I would think that this could be a real thing. Like, and that's what people, and that was the point, and that's what people thought about this movie, and that was why it's so revered
Yeah.
in the horror genre.
I'm
I think
watching
that-
a slaughter scene from Eli Roth's movie right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. But I think the fact that it was like presented as the movie within the movie, the fact that it was like within this other form, that didn't convince. If it was only that, if it was only the Road to Hell or whatever, like the found footage part, then it would have been like, damn, is this fucking real? Then it would have been a little bit more convincing. But since it had all the like the precursor and the narrative and all this other shit surrounding it, didn't make it seem real to me at all.
Yeah.
I
So you don't
wasn't,
think
like-
that the footage was pretty realistic of all the shit that they did? I mean, that was
Oh, it
pretty
was definitely real.
visceral.
It was definitely
was.
it was definitely looked realistic for sure. But it
Yeah.
wasn't. I didn't.
But it's the
I would
other
never have
it was the
thought
main
that-
narrative that kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
Right. I would never
Sure.
have thought like watching it like, oh, are those 4 people actually dead? Like I would have never left the like even like remember Blair Witch? Did you guys see Blair Witch in theaters when it first came out?
I thought that
I think-
for a while I didn't know if it was real or not.
Same. I remember feeling that feeling because it was like the way they marketed it, and I think like they didn't have the actors promoting it, anything like that, similar to what they did with this
You talking about Blair Witch?
Blair Witch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that was more convincing than this movie would have been because it's within the other movie. Like if it
Yeah.
was just released strictly as a found footage, then I would have been like, who the fuck are these people and like where are they and why the fuck did they do all this shit? But because it's in the movie, it's different.
They're just salting his whole leg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Green Inferno. Yeah,
Dude,
Green Inferno is a very different movie. Like I see that like how
I
it
want to
took-
watch this. I want
It was
watch
almost
this
like
movie.
Eli Roth took the setting in the tribe and just like made a new movie with that tribe in the place.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It wasn't a
Well, the
remake or
thing-
anything at all.
The thing that sucks about Green Inferno is how bad the acting and the dialogue is. It's like borderline horrendous. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, and honestly, this is what you say about this is what you say about a lot of movies too. Is like you got to understand you're watching an Eli Roth movie, and the fact that this was made to be a grindhouse and like a B movie. Green Inferno was it not?
Yes,
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So I think that helps it make it better a little bit if you know what you're getting into. And I don't think I hated Green Inferno, but I definitely wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. It's just it's not a good movie. Yeah, I agree with you.
Eli Roth has made a lot more
this
better
is the thing.
movies. I like all the shit he's done for sure.
A lot of horror movies at heart are not good movies. Like there's certain ones that are like the cerebral runs, like Hereditary or Midsommar or The Exorcist.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Or those movies, like those are really quality movies. But most movies that are horror, like they're not made for people to go in there and be like, oh, this was great. It's the experience. It's seeing the grossness. It's seeing it's getting scared. Like that's why most horror movies that are bad, people still fucking love because they just want that feeling. Like people love that feeling. That's what horror movies are about.
I agree. Horror movies are very hit or miss. Like they can be. There's a lot of bad fucking horror movies, and like for a long time, I didn't even like horror movies because I thought they were just bad. But I come to appreciate horror movies in a lot of ways.
There's too many different styles of horror to just say horror's bad. It's like saying music's bad.
Right.
There's just too many. There's too many. It's the horror classification is too broad.
Yeah.
What is this? This is gore porn. Or like torture porn. This is torture porn horror. Yeah. Which is a thing. And there are even levels of that.
Rob Zombie movies are like that because Rob Zombie movies aren't scary. Like even his Halloween movies, they're not scary. They never make you scared. They just make you go, ugh, and they make you go, and they make you go, fuck. And that's what they do. They don't scare you.
Yeah, but why do I love Rob Zombie?
Because you like fucked up shit, dude. It's just how it is.
But I don't
not a fan of his movies.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Because it's more visceral. It's gross. It's more visceral. Like in the Rob Zombie movies, there's a script that they're following, and you're a fan of Halloween, you're a fan of Michael Myers already. It's predetermined in you because you've loved the John Carpenter movies before it. You know what I mean? Like whatchamacallit, House of a Thousand Corpses. That movie didn't get released for like 2 or 3 years after it got shot because it had the same problems as this movie. People were like, can we show this? Do people want to see these fucked up things? Like, do people want to it's the same thing. Like Rob Zombie, Eli Roth,
House of a Thousand Corpses, I would consider a polarizing movie
for sure. In the same category as this. Same category.
I love House of a Thousand Corpses because I love all the rest of his movies, and I've come to respect his origin of his movies, or even before that, or even his El Beasto cartoon. But
that's a great movie.
I love.
I see how they're all tied together.
I love his. Yeah, I love it more now than I did when it came out. When it came out, I watched it because it was fucked up. Because I was a little gothic when I was a little fucking goth in high school. I worked at haunted houses, and like people, we would watch fucked up shit. That's why I watched Last House on the Left. It's a fucked up movie. It's a lot of dicks in this movie too. Dicks getting chopped off. Theme.
Last House on the Left is in the same category as this movie. It's the same thing.
I think Wes Craven, but I don't think. But yeah, I'm anxious to see other movies by Rodrigo Psychopath here. And so
I probably won't watch anything by this asshole.
Any more entertaining than because Last House on the Left, not my favorite Rob Zombie movie, but I appreciate because I love Rob Zombie.
No, you mean Wes Craven. Yeah. That was Wes Craven's. That was Wes Craven's first movie too. That was the movie that he made for anything.
Yeah. And he did make it for like there was a lot of shock value in it.
100%.
And then you're cutting off a dick.
Yeah.
Whether it's with a knife or biting, it's for shock value.
And like you said, House of a Thousand Corpses, I wanted to see it because of the big deal made about it. I wanted to see a movie that people are like, you can't release this movie. People shouldn't see this movie. And that's why I feel like the same thing about this movie is people were like, what the fuck is this? Like, we have to see this. Like, I have to see this because of that.
He was also Rob Zombie, and that's why I was excited to see because I loved Rob Zombie. I love the music.
Sure. I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects are great movies. I think those movies are awesome. I think those movies are in their own right really, really, really good. Like House of Thousand Corpses is a straight up horror movie and where Devil's Rejects is almost like it's like a Western crime movie that really has hints of Tarantino in it. You know what I mean? They're two totally different movies, but they're really great in their own way. And I know they're not for everybody. You know what I mean? It's like the same way people love like timepieces, like Barry Lyndon or Sense and Sensibility or fucking Anna Karenina. You know what I mean? Like there's people that love those type of movies. You know, it's just people like certain shit.
Yeah, I don't like those Rob Zombie movies, so I'm on the other camp, I guess.
Yeah,
I just think they're overdone. They're just over violent. Not a lot of substance to them. Just flash.
but that's the point. Honestly, that is the point.
I get
But
that.
I don't even agree with
just don't
that.
like
I think especially like House of a Thousand Corpses and on, they're well-made movies.
I don't think
I liked his
they're not well
Halloween.
made.
That was it. I'm not saying they're well made. They're not. They're interestingly made, but I just don't like that style.
The point of them though is to show you gratuitous violence. The point of view is to make you go, ugh, make you go, fuck. You know, a lot of people aren't into that.
But not I still feel like these are more cartoonistic in the way they portray the violence. It's not
What is?
the Rob Zombie movies. They're over the top ridiculous, whereas this was meant to look real, yes, which is meh.
But it's still a thing that like Anthony, if this movie were to come out today, if you were to see a trailer for this movie, you would. You know why you would? Because you'd be like, why aren't they letting me watch this? Why are they saying all that shit about it? What is in it that they don't want me to see? And that's the same thing about Thousand Corpses. Like that movie probably benefited from not getting released right away because there was such a fucking aura around it. And everybody was like, going to see this movie, gotta see this movie. You know what I mean? We gotta see this fucking movie.
Yeah. Would you agree though, Anthony? Is the zombie movies, are they also like shock horror? Would you put them in that category?
I wouldn't even put them in the same torture porn-esque category as like Eli Roth. Okay. I'd say less than that. I'd say they were less than that.
I mean, I guess because
Eli Roth likes that realistic looking shit.
Oh yeah,
eyeballs popping out of the head.
But he can also make funny shit. Like he's also
funny. Hostel. It has a lot lot of funny things in it.
And that's the difference.
Of course, my horse. I say that shit all the time.
Cabin Fever. Cabin Fever. Hilarious.
Yes, funny movie. Funny. Yeah, and that was his first film.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, you've seen Cabin Fever, but you've never seen Hostel, Jake?
Yes, the original Cabin Fever.
What's the reason for not seeing Hostel? Just wondering.
I think I wasn't really into the Saw movies.
Okay.
For what they were, and I don't like that genre of horror. I don't like that murder porn, torture shit. I don't like the shock horror movies.
In that category, though.
It's a torture.
Yes, it is.
Movie. It's definitely torture movie.
It's torture porn,
torture horror.
Especially the second and on.
Saw 1 is not in the category of Hostel.
I'll give you that.
I will not put that.
I'll give you that.
Saw
1 is a really good movie.
Saw 2 is also a really good movie, but yeah, I will give it to you from Saw 2 on. It's torture porn.
Yeah, they were. I think because they were put in the same. I think when Hostel was released, it was marketed to be like same people or like the new Saw kind of shit like that. It was very like compared to Saw often at the time. So to me, I was like kind of like whatever. I don't really need to see this shit. Then I heard about it. I heard it's just torture movie, and I'm like, all right, I don't really. I've just never been drawn to it. So I never did. It's not something I would purposely not watch. I guess it's never something I've sought out and been like, I need to watch Hostel. I've thought about it multiple times. I just haven't done it.
Both Hostels are good movies. They're good movies. Like
especially the second one.
In the end, it's just like, wow, that was fucking. Because you know what? There's probably people out there doing this shit.
Yeah. No. The now that I know the ending, thanks Schwartz.
I'm sorry. I thought you saw Hostel. My bad.
No,
you're
good.
20 years old.
No worries. Now that I know the ending, it is mildly more intriguing because like that ending does sound kind of good. That twist to it,
and that's just the twist. The second movie is about that society, which is even crazier.
And so the first one ends where you realize that there's people that are paying to kill the people that have been kidnapped. And it's more of like a mystery, whereas the second one opens up where there's a bunch of millionaires playing golf, eating breakfast with their family, in a board meeting where they're getting fucking emails on their telephone bidding on these
Right.
women that they're gonna fly to Europe and torture, and then because they're Americans. Because they're Americans, they're getting even higher. The American girls go for the highest thing, and they're gonna fly to Serbia or place, and they're gonna fucking kill them.
Okay. Did you ever see Requiem for a Dream? No. Schwartz,
No.
did you see it? You're frozen again.
I feel like he's seen it.
He's probably seen it. There's like a similar scene at the end that was like a bunch of billionaires watching some fucked up shit, but I won't go into it because you haven't seen it.
Well,
But
that's kind of what Taken is too, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, like just people capturing those women.
I think Taken
But I
probably
guess-
a little more sex slave than.
Taken's a sex slave movie, and that's not what the movie really. It doesn't really like show it as much. It might show like scenes implying stuff, but like Hostel's like, as far as I understand, it just shows the torture shit.
Oh yeah, that's what it's
Hostel?
about.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what the movie's about. Yeah.
It's about them like getting into that situation. It's about kids going on vacation in Eastern fucking Europe.
Yeah,
In
taken-
some
getting
like
taken.
weird places, partying, having a good time, fucking, drinking, ending up in a fucking warehouse, tied to a chair, and a guy comes, and again, dick's getting cut off in
Yeah.
Hostel.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What's really cool, I know we're not talking about Hostel in this per se, but Hostel is directly related to this type of movie. The ending of Hostel 2, now that you know it, Jake, I don't know if you're going to watch them or no.
I don't think you should spoil both Hostels.
Oh, I want to talk
I
about the
might-
dick scene because the dick
okay,
scene in
'cause
the
I-
Hostel 2 is so sick.
I potentially could still watch it. I just don't want to, and other
Gets
people
dick
maybe
cut off.
listening and they don't need to hear the
Yeah.
endings of these movies.
Oh,
That
Well,
we're
let's
not talking
be
about.
honest, all right? Let's be honest. Listen here. If you're listening to a movie podcast and you
Uh-huh.
get annoyed by spoilers,
Uh-huh.
don't fucking listen to a movie podcast, please. We're
Thank
talking
you
about
for listening
movies here.
to Making Watch
We're talking
Movies.
about
Please
movies here.
continue watching and listening to
yeah, no
Making
matter
Watch
what.
Movies.
Listen.
Yeah, watch
Always
it, but
listen.
we're gonna spoil things. I
There's
don't give a fuck.
spoilers.
Don't
There's
watch a
spoilers.
movie podcast if you're not going to
Oh,
watch
There's
true,
spoilers.
true, true.
spoilers.
There's spoilers.
Yeah.
There's
There's gonna be
spoilers.
spoilers.
But we don't need to
Spoiler
spoil
alerts.
like all movies all the time.
Yeah.
No. Jake, I'm sorry. I thought you saw Hostel. I
No,
thought
it's,
you would've saw
it's
that
okay.
movie.
It's okay. But since I know the ending of the first one, I don't need to know the ending of the second one, and
Yeah.
that can go to
Yeah,
our
the
listeners.
second
as well.
one's better. I like the second one better because it expands on what's going on, and that's what I like about the second one.
The
is it
first
expands
one
on it.
is a horror movie that is following teens that their friends are disappearing and shit's going weird, and then
Yeah,
at
it's a
the very
mystery.
end we
Yeah.
figure out what's going on. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
gory the whole way. Oh,
Yeah.
which one has the kids in it? First one or the second one?
Second one. No. Both of them. Both
Dude.
of them have it.
It does say no more about that,
Yeah.
but that's one of my favorite parts, and because
Yeah.
when I think about how gory the movie is.
And so going to that, like how I was talking about human nature and how in this movie it's about that tribe is fucked up, like the white people are fucked up. Those kids in Hostel are fucking little kids, but they're helping them people do that because they're fucked up.
Say
Because
no
people
more
are
about
fucked
the
up.
kids. You
I'm
just-
sorry, but
you're
this
just-
what,
you're-
what
I-
this movie is. What this movie
You're
is
doing
about
exactly
the
what we
dark
don't want
side.
you to do.
The
So
dark
good
side
at
of-
ruining movies.
no, dude, listen. It just had such that's what this movie is about. The dark side of human nature. That's it at
Right.
core. It's like what we're capable of. And
I mean, that's even
we-
yeah. A lot
you know what I
of
mean?
movies
That's what it
have
is. That's
I think
what it is.
even like Promising Young Woman had that. Like we talked about that last week. There was like it's who people are. Everyone's kind of fucked up. It's all that. Yeah, it's exploring the nature
Yeah.
of man
and cannibals.
and
Yeah.
cannibals.
Would you eat a monkey,
Even
Schwartz?
it's no country, bro.
Schwartz would you eat a monkey?
Want to eat a monkey? I would definitely not want to eat a monkey, man.
But like,
I don't know. I
if we were in the jungle
no, I wouldn't want to.
and we were
Yeah.
documenting a crew,
If I have to survive, to eat a monkey, yes. Or if we
You
were making a
sick fuck.
documentary, if we were making a documentary about a tribe that kills monkeys to eat, then sure, I would. But I wouldn't do it for fun. I wouldn't do it just
Cultural.
for the sake of fucking doing it.
I don't.
Yeah, I would never.
I don't.
do that.
I was about to say I don't eat for fun, but let's be honest, that's a lie. Because sometimes I'm fat American glutton. I'll eat for fun.
That's the thing, man.
I said
If
a
I
sandwich
was
for
a,
fun earlier.
if I
Fun. I'm not even hungry. I'm not even hungry. There's people starving to death, and I'm just bored, and that's why I'm gonna eat.
yeah, I went to get acai yesterday, and there was a bagel place next to it, and I was like, I can eat a bagel. I was like, I don't need bagel. I want sauce.
Fuck it.
How many
Double
times
dip.
did we go
This
to
is
ramen?
America.
And because
Yeah.
we were waiting for ramen, we went and ate pizza before we got
PRP,
ramen.
pre-ramen pizza,
Or ice
Pre-ramen
cream.
pizza
at
and
that.
post-ramen
yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
or ice cream.
And PRIC, post-ramen
Yeah.
ice cream.
Yeah, we're
ice cream
fucking
sandwiches. Gluttons.
That's the thing, man. We're glutton. We're Americans. That's how we were raised. Fucking drink soda and eat fucking whatever we can.
Yeah, like when I go on vacation, I feel like most of my vacation is just looking for places to eat.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
you
and
have a
eating
little
them.
more trouble looking for places.
That's true. I gotta enjoy.
I could look for a place to eat
the
and then
two
just go
vegan
like
places
this.
in each town.
There.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Right.
Jake, I'll never forget when we were in Texas for blue collar and we were in that small town and there was nothing to eat but that fucking barbecue joint. And you had to go in there with us. I was like, fuck, this sucks for him.
No,
man.
I walked outside and ate at the gas station across
You
the
did.
street. I walked in
did.
and I walked
You
immediately
did.
out.
Anthony, we were at this like super authentic Texas barbecue where they're like barbecuing in the back and
Yeah.
it was delicious. And Jake
Body
had no
parts.
other options.
Body parts
whatsoever.
all over the wall.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
was-
crazy.
They're like, maybe
Sounds
there's
like my
something.
jam.
Maybe
Yeah, it was delicious.
there's vegetables there. And I looked. I'm like, I'm not even fucking.
Yeah,
They
got
had
gonna
like
be
mac and
inside of this
cheese.
place.
mac
You
and
could have had mac and
cheese.
cheese basically.
No,
That
I don't
was
eat.
it.
I don't
He
eat.
doesn't
I don't
eat
eat.
Oh
cheese.
yeah,
cheese.
you can't eat cheese.
Yeah.
Good job,
Maybe could have had
Francis.
like collard greens or something. That's probably would have been like
Yeah.
the only thing maybe they
Yeah.
had. For
No
me.
way
And,
they
and the collard
don't
greens
cook that
probably
in
had
bacon.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably
Yeah.
had bacon in that shit. So I doubt
It's
it.
Texas. There's bacon in everything. There's bacon in the ribs.
For sure. So let me ask you this. I know both you guys really didn't like this movie because of the content, but were there parts of this movie that you can respect in a way or not really?
Like in what way? What do you mean respect?
Like okay, so do you respect for the fact that they were trying to make you feel this way about this movie and it did such a good job? Like is that at all in
I
there?
respect the fact that they made it seem so real to the extent that he had his actors sign a contract saying that they wouldn't do anything for a year.
Okay.
I respect the extent of the lengths that they went to. And that's why I elaborate it. Because initially I was going to just say fucked, stupid, terrible. You know, I had these words where I was like, I don't need, but I do. My God, this movie's awful too.
Yeah, both aren't.
Yeah,
good.
Eli Roth don't fucking cut corners, dude.
What do they even do? They're sticking a stick down her throat.
Yeah,
That's what they
dude,
did.
that was
That's what
crazy.
they
This-
did.
Ew, and then when that girl was just fucking impaled like that, fuck.
Wait, so they did that to her, right?
No, no, no,
White
no,
people
No,
did that to her.
No.
the white guys raped her, and because she got raped by the white guys, the tribe
They
fucking
killed
did that
her,
to
yeah.
her
Yeah,
because she was no longer a virgin.
yep.
So they caused that to happen, but they didn't
Yep.
do that.
I mean, in my
That's
head,
so
they
fucked up.
they because they were setting up and faking everything. In my head, they did that, and then they did that to her just to film it. But I guess
Oh,
not.
okay.
It seemed like they were like excited when it happened. They're like, all right, it happened. Like, let's go film it.
Yeah, I can see
That's
that. No, but
Which brings us to-
it sounded like it was the tribe, but I could be wrong. You could.
I think you're right, Jake. I think they killed her because they realized that she wasn't.
Yeah, because I
pure
heard something
anymore.
about the
Yeah.
her virginity and something like along those lines, and then they were like, and even the guy was like, "This is awful" or something because he realized like it was
No,
his
he was-
fault.
No.
I thought
no,
you
no.
said something
I
about, like,
think
this is
you.
terrible.
No, dude.
So you think they
look?
they did that to her?
Watch that scene because they
I don't want to.
they
I don't
came
wanna-
around.
Yeah, I'm not watching this ever again.
No. I don't know. It was ambiguous to me whether they did it or not, but
Mhm.
nobody was horrified by it. He was laughing. And the cameraman said, "Hey, I'm recording." And he stopped laughing and then started acting serious.
Mm.
Dude, they
That's what he
raped
was
a
doing.
fucking
Okay.
girl and were like having
That was the girl.
time of their life. Like
Yeah.
that was the most fucked
That's
up.
it.
That,
Yeah,
like
That was the worst
that
scene.
was
But, like,
so
yeah.
fucked up.
That's what he was
Like,
saying
that was
at the
so
end. He was
messed
like, "Hey,
up.
I'm recording," and he was like, because he was looking at it like, "Huh?" He was like, "Hey, I'm recording." And he was
Yeah, no, I remember that now.
Oh,
He was
this
like,
is
yeah,
terrible
I do
now.
remember that. But I don't think that made me think that they did it. Like I do think that he
That-
was like,
I-
oh shit, this is.
I
kinda
just
cool.
immediately,
It's a
like
little
when I saw her
ambiguous.
there, I
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh, they did that to her too." Like it wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise.
So-
I don't know
Because
it's
they
ambiguous.
explained it away as if the tribe did it, but I think you're right. It is kind of ambiguous of like, did
yeah, they also
just,
like
did they describe that for camera?
yeah they
kinda
faked
thing.
they faked a massacre too. And they're-
So
Yeah.
honestly, going back to favorite scenes, I think that massacre scene where they burnt down the village was my favorite scene in the movie because I was just like, what? Like they're just doing this because they're trying to get this on film? Like this is fucking crazy. Like this is so fucked up. But I think it was my favorite scene because of how crazy it was.
I don't know. Hard to pick a favorite scene. I think the only thing I maybe appreciated about this movie was like the social commentary a little bit.
Sure.
With, like the who's the actual cannibals or whatever
Sure.
kind of like button they put on it.
Sure.
I guess I sort of appreciate that, but still.
But that's what the point of this movie was, to make you
Completely
think
necessary.
about that
Oh yeah,
exact
for
thing,
sure.
the social
And
commentary.
I guess
That's
they
what
were
it was.
maybe a little on the nose with it at the end, but yeah, I got the point. I was already thinking that, like when they were like in your favorite scene when they were destroying everything, I was just like, this was unexpected.
Yeah.
Like,
Unexpected.
What the
That was
fuck?
definitely
Yeah.
the most unexpected scene.
And when I
made
say
me-
favorite
yeah.
scene, I'm not saying like I loved that it happened. I'm just
Right,
saying, like,
right. No, I
in
know
the
what you mean.
movie, that's the scene where I was just like,
It was effective.
what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, but at that point, to me, those people were already total scumbags, and this
That
just
was-
really fucking hammered it in.
So that was where I like, listen, the animal thing again, they needed to eat. So I get to eat it. I don't want to see that shit. I don't
Right.
want to like, but when they were
That
burning
could have
down
been
that
left
village,
out. That's what I'm saying. Like
Sure.
the animal shit, another
When-
thing completely unnecessary. That
when
could
they
have been
were
left
burning
out.
down that village, though, that's when you were realize, like, dude, these people are
Yeah.
fucked. Like, they are fucked.
Terrible.
Like,
They gave you a hint at it
fucked.
when they were watching the footage, and they're like, they faked
Yeah.
all this shit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. So now you kind of
Yeah.
understand, oh, what are these guys' motives going in? And then when they just walk into the village after shooting the dude and like limping him back, and
Mhm.
they walk in and start fucking terrorizing.
Yeah. Which
That's
I
when
guess
you really realize what they're there to do. Which
Which
again,
I guess
is crazy.
is-
It was another twist in the story. This story is twisted,
yes.
and it's a
yes.
lot more elaborate than I expected. That
Yeah.
is what I enjoy. I think probably what I enjoyed about it the most is this was a lot more well thought out than I think people can give it credit for.
For sure. And
Very
I've read
well
reviews
thought
of
out
it.
movie.
I can see that.
I've read reviews of it, and they say that's the part of it that people actually like about it. They're like, this movie is so fucked and meant to be so erratic. Like, what's real, what's not real, what's right, what's wrong. But it's really well made. You know what I mean? It's like they did a really good job of it. Like, there's another movie that called Man Bites Dog, which is basically it's about a killer who has a documentary film crew follow him around during his regular days. And
Right.
he kills people, he rapes people, he steals from people, and this documentary crew just documents it all because they're gonna make a movie, and they slowly begin to like help in it, where like they'll hold people down or they'll trick people into going. It's
Somewhere.
just it's a commentary on people. I mean, on just humans.
Yeah. I have been interested in seeing that movie.
I just watched it. It's not as brutal as this movie in the fact that you're not seeing guts and shit like that,
Yeah.
but it is just as fucked up. I don't think you would
Okay.
like it, Jake. You wouldn't like that movie.
Fair enough. The story,
Shia LaBeouf
the
made a
story
short
behind
film.
it is interesting.
It's called a Black Belgian Belgian black comedy crime mockumentary.
Yeah, it's not. It's fucked. It's just as fucked as this. I watched it. So it's
shock
fucked.
value wise, I'm sure is very high.
So
It's just a shock though.
comedy-
The only thing
Comedy is not a
probably more
good way
comedic.
to describe it.
well, because it's more satire. It's definitely a satire because you never think it's real. You know what I mean? You never think
Yeah.
it's real. It's something that like you're like, oh, this is a fucking movie. Like this, there's
Yeah.
nothing real about this.
Because
Like,
I can
there's
appreciate
nothing. It's a satire.
some dark humor. I can appreciate some dark humor though.
Yeah, but
So
I
maybe
feel
I
like
might
your dark
that.
humor ends at like Tarantino-ish dark humor. I feel like that's where you go. You know what I mean? Because his shit's always funny,
Yeah.
but it's fucked
Maybe
up.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? Samuel L. Jackson trying to convince Chris Tucker to get in the trunk of a car so he could fucking kill him. That's pretty fucked up, but hilarious.
Right. Yeah. Tarantino is kind of the master of that shit.
Yes, he makes it kind of. I don't want to say okay, but
oh yeah, almost unacceptable things. Like
yes,
yeah, for sure.
like there's some
Because
things
he
that
has good
he
story
says-
because there's much
Exactly.
more
Especially in Pulp
substance. There's just much more substance. There's much more character. There's much more story.
Yes,
It's much more
yes.
interesting. It's funny. It's shot
Yes.
well. There's a lot more to it than just the
Yeah.
violence.
Mhm.
This is not. There's nothing more
yes,
to
exactly, and that's
Cannibal
why.
Holocaust than just the violence. There's nothing else to that movie.
Exactly,
Much.
exactly, 100%. And like, but the thing is that like I think why people in the horror genre and certain directors like Sergio Leone, Quentin Tarantino, Oliver Stone, Eli Roth, like the reason why they respect the movie so much is because it really does make you feel a certain way. Like the people hadn't seen like a movie like this presented in movie form that wasn't like an actual documentary before it. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think the respect factor was. I don't think they enjoy watching this movie, just like most people don't enjoy watching Hostel most of the time. You know what I mean? Like who enjoys seeing the things that happen in that movie? You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. Yeah, sure.
I enjoy the movie. I enjoy the movie.
But Hostel still has more substance. Hostel is still more about
Much
just
more.
the violence. You know what I mean?
More.
It's about kids' relationships and sex and having a good time and
it's much more.
You know, like sowing your oats. You know what I mean? Whereas this is
right.
just like
did either of you actually enjoy this?
No.
No.
I respected what it was, but I didn't enjoy this movie. I will never watch this movie again. Ever.
Never.
Yeah.
No.
It's the bottom of the list. It's going to the bottom of the list.
See, I'm not going to put it at the bottom of my list because I do think it was better than other movies that we watched, but it doesn't need to be seen again. Like, I don't need to see it again.
What
like,
movies?
I definitely don't need to see it again.
Let's have that discussion. Let's go to the lists. What movies do you think it's better than?
All right, I'm going to go to the list.
Because I'm looking at it like debatably, my bottom right now is Bad Lieutenant, and I can see that possibly being worse than this for like a story aspect because there was basically no story in Bad Lieutenant. This was somewhat of an interesting story here on Cannibal.
So you're saying the
Holocaust?
story of Cannibal Holocaust is more interesting than Bad Lieutenant?
Yes.
Wow.
But
I don't know. Maybe.
I think it is because Bad Lieutenant kind of lacked story. It was just a piece of shit guy.
I couldn't tell you what Bad Lieutenant was about right now. All
right, can somebody make a change
idea.
for me? I'm gonna make a change real quick on my list.
You're allowed to make changes yourself, Schwartz.
I'm not allowed.
What do you want? Tell me what you want. What you really want. I'll do this if you actually rank. I saw the devil. You have to actually rank it. You have to rank it for the overall good of the podcast.
It's on there, dude. I ranked it.
You're truly, genuinely gonna say I Saw the Devil's the worst movie we've seen on this podcast?
Yep.
Well, you're an asshole for that because I know that's a lie.
You're a liar. You're a filthy fucking liar.
We don't like liars.
All right. In that case, we will rank it for you.
All right.
After this podcast.
And I won't make a change. Where are you gonna rank this one?
I was cut off. What did you say?
Where are you gonna rank?
Matter.
Where are you gonna rank this one?
I don't know. Can you change one for me?
Not unless you rank I Saw the Devil.
I did.
What do you rank this one?
I need you to make a change before I can rank this one.
Okay. What do you rank this one?
Where do you want I Saw the Devil?
Can you put MacGruber at 48 instead of 52?
Sure. Where's this one?
I don't know yet.
All right. I gotta go bottom. Like I can't give this movie anything other than the worst possible place on the thing. How do you spell Holocaust?
HOLOCAUST.
All right.
Man, I got a spot, but I don't know. Can somebody move MacGruber for me?
Nah.
Why?
Because you won't cooperate either.
What do you mean? What am I not cooperating? I'm trying to rank this movie, but I got to move MacGruber up.
Let's rank it then.
Where do you want MacGruber?
48.
It is better than Pushing 10. I'll give you that.
Yes, it is.
Above Pushing 10?
Yes.
I'm also going to rank this movie last.
All right, I'm going to put this movie at
unapologetically last.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely the worst thing we've seen.
It's the worst movie I've ever seen.
Can you put mine at 53? Cannibal Holocaust.
All right. Right above Citizen Kane?
Yeah.
I'm curious of your reasoning there. Why is this
I
better than
didn't like
Dave?
Citizen Kane, man. I thought that was the most boring, pretentious piece of shit I've ever seen.
I
Really?
don't disagree with that. It's extremely boring and pretty pretentious, but it's definitely not worse than this. Kind of a call, in my opinion. We all have those.
Yeah.
Yo,
I
why
had to
is
put it
I
up.
Saw the Devil in my top 10, dude? Take that out of there. It's not my top 10. Take it out of there.
Well, that's where it averages.
I don't
So-
care. That's not where I'm putting it. I want it at 66.
So right above Down by Law.
Okie dokie. Cool. Any last words for fucking cannibal, terrible movie Holocaust?
I think next week I want to do Debbie Does Dallas because it's so interesting, not interesting, inspirational to movies, and it was like a very important part of cinema history.
Debbie Does
Just
Dallas?
like this
What is
movie.
that?
Yep.
What the hell
Classic
Debbie
porno.
Does Dallas?
No, I don't want to do that. I'm joking.
It's porn?
I don't know which one I want to do yet. Yeah, it's like an old classic porn movie.
I'm in.
It's like a 70s porno, like one of the original ones. I was just comparing it to this because it's like one of those like just OG smut movies that aren't necessary at all.
OGSMs? I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but people like those movies, man. There's tons of people who probably love that movie. Just
Oh, I
because you
bet.
don't like it doesn't mean it's bad.
no, I never said it was bad. I've never seen
Yeah.
it.
I
But I
think
just
this
also
movie's
don't
bad.
want to watch a porn movie for a fucking podcast.
I
Yeah,
would say
for
this
sure.
movie's a bad movie.
Yeah, this
I'd
is
say
fine.
Cannibal Holocaust. Cannibal Holocaust is a bad movie. Schwartz loves this movie.
I don't love this movie, but I definitely think it's a well-made movie.
You think it's a well-made movie?
I do. I think for what it is, it was pretty good. I'll never watch it again, but yeah.
Schwartz's favorite movie. Should we put it at number 1 for you then?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's where it is where I want it.
Or are you gonna change it later?
What?
Huh?
What's going on?
What happened?
I don't know, man.
What's the next movie, Jake?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. Let me I'll figure that out and I'll let you know. I guess. Unless you want to figure this out now. You said you've seen
all you got to do is say a name of a movie.
Yeah. And you said you've seen Baby Driver?
I've seen like the first 10 minutes of Baby Driver.
You never saw Baby Driver?
No, I saw like the first 10 minutes of Baby
All
Driver.
right,
a
so
good movie.
next week on Making Watch Movies, we will be looking and reviewing Baby Driver.
Copy you.
There we go. That's the movie. So watch it. Those who are listening, Baby Driver next week.
Nobody listens to the end.
At this point, probably not. Shout out to the big cat.
Shout out to Reed.
Yeah,
Who?
I think it was. Yeah, we were definitely going to shout someone out last night, and I don't remember
Shout
who
out
we
to
said we were
Reed.
going to do that. It's Reed. Shout out to Reed.
Shout out
Who's
to
Reed?
Reed.
Who's Reed?
Reed's the man.
Reed's the man. Shout out to Reed. Love you, Reed.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Making Me Watch Movies. I know I said I was going to watch Baby Driver this week, but that's actually next week, which is what we're going to do. We're going to watch Baby Driver next week. I was just so traumatized by Cannibal Holocaust that I forgot that we did it. So, yes, thanks for listening. Sorry if you watched that movie on our recommendation. And next week, we'll watch Baby Driver, a nice, light-hearted, fun movie starring Kevin Spacey, some young kid, and a bunch of other great actors, directed by Edgar Wright. Thanks again. Shout out to the Big Cat. Shout out to Reed. And see you next week. Bye, 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 bye.